Hey, what up, figure freaks? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing good. Doing another action figure review. Today, we're doing the Star Wars Black Series Revenge of the Sith MAGNAGUARD by Hasbro. Pretty much this character, or characters, it's kind of an army builder. These guys always kind of guarded General Grievous, and they are similar to him. Robots, droids, whatever. Coming around the back of the box, you get a lovely photo of the figure and a little write-up, which doesn't say too much. Celebrate the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith with, 20th anniversary, huh? With figures from the Black Series featuring commemorative packaging. And I'll take your commemorative packaging and I'll tear that shit open, which is what we're gonna do right now. And just real quick, still in the plastic packaging, out of the clamshell there. We just got a good look at the figure. He's got the staff here. He's got the electro staff. And then we got the figure with a soft goods cape, which looks to be shredded and kind of burned. It's got like little burn marks in it. That's pretty cool. All right, out of the packaging, I gotta say, this figure seems a little bit small to me. I don't know if they were smaller characters compared to the humanoid characters or other robot characters, but they just seem smaller overall. I know they seem skinny and lanky because they are droids or robots, but just as far as stature goes, this guy is short and just kind of feeble looking when I kind of measure him up against other Black Series action figures, but still nonetheless looks cool. I do like the soft goods cape. Wish maybe it was a little bit bigger and kind of surrounded the body a little bit more, but this is cool. I do like the kind of burning effect that they got here, like the burn holes, because I think they're like have a full-on robe or something, and then like when they or like their engine starts up, it just starts burning, and it's like Whiplash in Iron Man 2. It just kind of singes anything that isn't metal or their circuitry or whatever. So yeah, the figure looks good, just a little small. And here we got the vibro blades or whatever they call it. It's the double-sided staff. Got the little electrical effects there on the end, which are removable. And then they just kind of slide back on. They will come off though, but looks pretty good. This is probably what I will display him with. You did get this as well. I don't know if let's try this. Let's see if this comes off, and then we'll go on here. It's kind of slip and slidey, but I think it's doable. But I don't know if I recall seeing this these guys walking around with these staffs. I just remember the electro vibe blades or whatever, so I'm gonna just stick with that. Pretty wicked. We'll probably set this off to the side. Paint is pretty good though. I do like this, the burning effect on the soft goods. Looks pretty wicked. You got some holes in here. Pretty nice. The paint looks good on the figure. The cape is supposed to be attached to this cowl that wraps around the head, so this should be the same cloth as this, but because it's a head, they just molded on to make it look like the continuation of the cape that goes up here and wraps around the head, kind of like what Dengar had wrapped around his head. Articulation wise, let's take a little quick glance at the head. Let's get a little more light here. Uh-oh, what's going on? There we go. My little circular light is kind of acting funky. But yeah, so the head just goes around, round and round. This shit's kind of bunching up in it. Wow. All right. Being honest here, this figure is frustrating. It's kind of trash, to be honest. So I twisted the head around like so, and now it seems to be a little loose. But when I did that, look at this. Now I don't know if it was like that before, but I think this was like somehow attached up here and it just kind of ripped, which is kind of shitty. So that's too bad. Like, look at that. I think this whole thing right here was kind of like attached up here, and when I twisted the head, it kind of just ripped it. But it's not totally off. It still functions, but still frustrating. I'm just not liking this figure already. I wish I could. It just looks like shit. It's kind of janky. It almost reminds me of like older Star Wars figures. It almost reminds me of the General Grievous, the first one, which is the one I have, which is very challenging to keep standing. He's kind of weak in the knees and whatever, but still not a bad looking figure. I'll twist the head around again. He does move. It does actually pivot and swivel quite a bit. We'll get this out of the way. He's got a little swivel on the torso, which wraps all the way around. He bends over about like that, bends back like that. Lots of articulation down here. So he's got some movement. The shoulders go up like about like that, rotates around. You got that joint in there. And then you got a single jointed, I guess, elbow, and then kind of a twist at the wrist or forearm. Then you got the legs. This kind of pivots outward and then goes back like that, goes up like that. It doesn't go out so much. And then you got a single jointed knee. Not much there. There's no swivel at all at the boot or the thigh. And then down here at the ankle, you have the pivot. There is no tilt. And so that's it. Very basic articulation. It just didn't seem like they put a lot of time and effort into these figures. And that's just too bad. So I'm going to give this figure, I mean, like 5 is not good. So I'm just trying to gauge what it should. All right. I'm going to say it. It's getting a 4.5. You know, it's not a total sack of like dog shit, but it's just out of the packaging, not good. And I'm sorry, like Black Series isn't really a big deal to me, so I'm not like crushed. Like if this had been what figures have I done? Like the Cold Slither set or that Brian Pillman WWE Elite figure that I just did a review of, I would be quite upset. I would probably cry my little eyes out. So there's that. So we're doing 4.5. Not total garbage, but pretty damn close. I mean, like, look at this. A little bit of pivot in here. It's just, I mean, it'll be fun to display, but other than that, it's shitty. He kind of has these hands, like the design almost remind me of the feet of Grievous. And also these electrode things just keep falling off. So if the top one will stay on, but you gotta find a way to keep these on here, man. And it's fucking... By the way, I had to re-record like 3 of my intros. 4 of them. Maybe even. I think I deleted a couple because I was swearing like a sailor. But we'll include some outtakes around the hind end, maybe after the credits on this review, so you guys can laugh at my dumb ass. But you know, it takes me a little while to get rolling with the verbiage, and so that's kind of what happened. So yeah, these things are just coming off. It's just brutal, and then he won't stand, and so 4.5. I'm not going to get too heavily into this. Army builder, sure, but be careful with the soft goods if you're gonna buy it. I only got one. I actually thought about getting two so I could have one on each side of Grievous, but I'm glad I didn't. Maybe I just got unlucky. Maybe that's just me. But I'm gonna be honest with my reviews. You know, this figure is a fucking piece of shit. You know, with the cloth ripping and just weak articulation, feeble and kind of weak frame, and then the power effects just sliding off of the thing. So it's shitty. 4.5. Let's go into comparisons. Let's bring in Mr. General Grievous. Hopefully he stays standing up. There we go. So very similar figures. You know, you got the very skinny legs, skinny arms, skinny body, you know, and kind of supporting a lot with capes and weaponry. I really like this Grievous. It's the first one that we got, the first offering from Black Series, so it's nice, but again, also kind of small with the head. So, and we'll bring in some other figures and you kind of can gauge how the MAGNAGUARD is a little bit on the small side. We're gonna bring in the Death Trooper here from Mando. I really love these figures. This guy is fucking sick. Badass. Like all those gyros or whatever and the joints. Wicked looking figure. I mean, I'd be more scared of one of these guys than I would be of General Grievous. Another figure from Mando. Can't remember his name. He kind of reminds me. I kind of just bought this guy because it reminded me of the Death Star droid a little bit, but I'm hoping that we get one of those. That's one of the Black Series that I really want. I want a Death Star droid and Lobot. So, and then hopefully I'll be done with this fucking line. You know, I love Star Wars. I just am not into the action figures that much, and I have like probably 100 of them. But yeah, I'm gonna sell off some. So you can see, especially compared to the Imperial Death Trooper, you know, the MAGNAGUARD is small. Let's bring in the super. What is this guy called again? I can't remember. It's from the prequels, but I love this figure. Oh my god. Is it like a Republic battle droid, maybe? I don't know, but this guy is awesome. Articulation is nice, just the way it looks. And I got this guy maybe like 7-8 months ago, and I was actually impressed with this figure. So this figure is much more impressive than the MAGNAGUARD. And look at the size difference. I mean, look at that. They should all be kind of big and imposing, but you know, it's like big guy, little guy. So let's move these guys over here. And just to bring in a couple more, we got IG-11. Which I'm not sure if I even like any of these IG droids. I have 2 IG-88s, you know, which is my preference. But this guy's pretty cool with the bandoliers and shit. Another guy that's kind of challenging to get to keep standing. Like, he's falling over all the time. It's a little frustrating. And then we're going to do the probe droid here. This little probe guy. Sticking needles in Princess Leia. Pretty wicked. This guy came with a Grand Moff Tarkin figure. So there we got that. We're going to move this back and move this guy up. And just bring in some humanoids. And we can kind of make a size comparison there. We got the Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi in his clone gear. Really like this figure a lot. I thought I was done with Black Series, and then this figure came out, and I was like, I gotta have that. So lightsaber's a little bent and wonky, but again, just from the frame, the MAGNAGUARD's taller, but Obi-Wan's thicker. And I mean, I'm sure Obi-Wan would dismantle 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 of these guys pretty easily. So there's that. And we got Ahsoka, the Super Ahsoka with her 2 light blue lightsabers. Great character. A character I didn't think I'd like, and then I watched the Clone Wars and kind of fell in love with her. And then we got Mace Windu with this goddamn purple lightsaber. Love Sam Jackson. The likeness here is uncanny, like really nice figure. I'll do your movie if you give me a purple lightsaber, motherfucker. So, there we have it, guys. That's my review. It's a 4.5 out of 10 on the MAGNAGUARD. Not impressed with it. Not a total waste, but pretty close, in my humble opinion. I don't like to rip on figures, but when the cloth goods rips and the weaponry is falling apart and just seems janky, that's what I gotta do. So honesty is the best policy. 4.5. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. It was probably a little more brief than most of my reviews, so we got through this one quick. I'm kind of glad. We'll see you on the next one. We got some Transformers G.I. Joes coming up. Some of the new releases out there, so stay tuned, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Love you. Take care. Take care of each other. Peace! What's up, figure freaks? How you doing? Welcome back once again to the channel, doing another action figure review. Today we are doing the Star Wars Black Series Revenge of the Sith, Shit. What up, figure freaks? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Get this a little more balanced. What up, figure freaks? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. Doing another action figure. I can't.